Good morning and welcome to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Our focus this morning will begin on teen dating violence. With 1 in 5 teens experiencing dating violence, there's a youth-led movement that's goal is to rally young people together in positive ways to promote healthy relationships in schools and the community. Here to tell us more about the Dare to Know campaign is Stephanie Ortiz. She's the Prevention and Public Awareness Coordinator for End Abuse Wisconsin, and Simone Lewis-Turner. She's a student at Milwaukee High School for the Arts, and she serves as the Youth Outreach Specialist for End Abuse Wisconsin. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Thank you both for being here. And just for starters, young adult dating violence is a big problem affecting youth in every community across the nation. And only about 33% of teenagers who are in a violent relationship have even told anybody about the abuse. That's really something to think about, and that's why we have you here today, because it's important for young people to first be able to recognize the signs of abuse, and then also know that there is a place to turn, right?
Absolutely.
So if you would, first off, tell us more about End Domestic Abuse Wisconsin.
So End Domestic Abuse Wisconsin is our state coalition against domestic violence. We serve as the technical assistance and training provider for every domestic violence service provider throughout the state. So we go in and we provide trainings. My role as a Prevention and Public Awareness Coordinator is to specifically provide supports for the on-the-ground prevention specialists and amp up their skills and knowledge about how to engage young people in this movement.
Yeah, and like you said, this is the only statewide coalition that really works to connect, equip, empower, and lead young people in this way.
And so we partner in many ways with the Wisconsin Coalition Against Sexual Assault. So there is a sister coalition that supports us in this work, but the campaign and all of that sits with the Coalition Against Domestic Violence.
All right, End Domestic Abuse Wisconsin actually launched a statewide campaign this summer. It was online, on radio, social media. People may have seen it in shopping malls, and even if you're at the movie theater on a date, there was a message that popped up, right?
Yes.
So this was pretty much across the board. Talk a little bit more about this whole campaign, Dare to Know.
Okay, well, I can share a little bit about the vision of Dare to Know. Dare to Know is really a challenge to encourage young people to get real about the impacts healthy relationships can have on your well-being and in your community. And so it's really a call to action. And so the vision really is to inform young people about the prevalence using the statistics that you had mentioned earlier, illuminate the impact that this can have, again, on their well-being in their community, and then inspire them to get involved. And then there's also a Dare to Know process that Simone knows a little bit about.
Yeah, and Simone, I think it's awesome to see a high school student take part in something so important. You serve, as I said, a youth outreach specialist. So how, in fact, did you get involved with the organization?
Yeah, so I've known about it like since I was a baby. So I've been on the board for End Abuse as a team member when we first started it up, and a lot of times the thing about it was we saw that it was impacting youth, and wasn't many youth incorporating our ideas and being able to share our voice about how to make a difference within our lives as a youth. So I feel like having opinions and being able to realize what we actually need instead of asking an adult or a higher figure like what they think we need is very important. And it's home-based to me as well, because a lot of times I've seen it within my communities, I've seen it within my households, and being able to realize that I'm not the only one, like it's a higher standing point within Wisconsin, and it's very vigilant. And a lot of times people tend to turn a blind eye towards it. And just being able to be a youth and stand my voice with my other peers, being able to share their voices in the places I go to and the work that I do is very important.
That's awesome. So you are actually working to lead the Teen Ambassador program. So what are some of the things that you're equipping these teen ambassadors with, and what will they then do?
Yes, so we teach warning signs of dating violence and how to target them and visual within our communities, within our families, within our relations with each other. And our goal is to not let it stop there, but for them to take it back to their hometowns and share the knowledge they have gained with the peers and mentors and people that's around them. So that's how we interact with our youth as well. Also through our social media accounts, we do a lot of like interviews. We also speak to communities ourselves, the communities that we're in, and we let them know what's going on. So I feel like that's our main point.
All right.
And I'm super excited to have someone on board, because we're really in the early stages of creating what the Teen Ambassador program looks like, and we want it to be youth informed and youth led. So that is one of the many reasons why we have young people actually hired to help us with this.
Yeah, and it makes total sense what she had said, that instead of going to adults who may not totally understand the lifestyle of a teen. I know, I'm a little bit older than you, but when I was coming up, there was not texting and sexting and social media and all of these things. Or, it's just a lot of things have changed. And if you're living the lifestyle of a young person, then you have a better understanding for other young people. So it all makes sense. It's important to mention what statistics reveal when it comes to young adult dating violence. And I think people will find this interesting. Girls and young women who are between the ages of 16 and 24, they experience the highest rate of intimate partner violence, which is almost triple the national average. And then what's even more concerning, in my opinion, is 81% of parents actually believe teen dating violence is not even an issue, or they admit they don't know if it's an issue. So this campaign, I think, is very important in that way, because not only are you giving young people the tools to kind of navigate through these type of scenarios, but you're also making parents aware this stuff happens every single day, and it may be happening to your child, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so there was this article this past week in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, and I found it interesting because sometimes people read these stories and it doesn't really register that this is something that happens each and every day, because we don't always hear about it. But the headline read, "Teen dating violence at center of homicide trial." So more than a year ago, an 18-year-old Milwaukee woman, she was shot and killed by her longtime boyfriend, who is also the father of her child. Now, he's only 20, and he is facing a long period of time in jail for really committing this act. But what's key is that there were acts all along throughout this particular relationship that really needed some help, but maybe they didn't know where to turn. You think family and friends said, this stuff went on and on and on. So what do you guys say to young people who may be in a situation like that, where somebody has your phone and they're checking your messages or looking at your email account, or they won't let you leave when you want to leave? These are things that happen. What do you say?
I start with informing them about the facts, that those are elements of abuse. And I encourage them that it's so important to find a trusted adult. If it's not your parents, finding a trusted adult or another peer that you can confide in, and let them know, begin safety planning. Sometimes it's not the best thing to leave immediately, because we know that is oftentimes the most vulnerable and unsafe circumstance to be in when you're leaving an abusive relationship. So being really careful and thoughtful about safety planning and finding someone that you trust to help you through that process is so important.
Yeah. As a result of that situation we were just talking about, Milwaukee Police and Sojourner Family Peace Center, they created a high-risk team with other partner agencies. So it really is at least heartwarming to know that people are paying attention and trying to do something to prevent this from happening in the future. So Stephanie, how do parents work to make sure that their kids aren't in a scenario like this as an abuser or the one that's being abused?
I really encourage parents to start having conversations about this really earlier on. My son will be 5 on Friday, and I think there are small ways that I begin to talk to him about healthy relationships and boundaries and consent already. So I think that I think oftentimes people wait until they're like, oh, the middle school age, or maybe we'll start to talk about what healthy relationships look like, and communication and trust and all of those things a little bit later. But I think starting earlier on and talking about it outside of the context of intimate relationships is really important.
Yeah, because when you think about it, I remember even being in grade school, and when a boy liked you, he would pull your hair or hit you or do something. that is a good opportunity for parents to say, when somebody really likes you, they don't do anything to hurt you. You know, it can start as early as grade school in saying that's not okay.
Absolutely.
What are some of the warning signs? So if Simone has a friend and she sees certain things happening, what would people look out for? Or someone who may be dating someone and not really recognize what emotional abuse looks like?
I always talk, and Simone, feel free to chime in, but I'm always being on the lookout about little small acts of like power and control, right? Because that's what this is about at its core, especially in intimate relationships. So when a partner begins to isolate you from your family and friends, give you like this expectation that you have to spend all your time with them, you know, sometimes it can get to those even threats of, if you leave or if, you know, we don't end up together, I might do something to hurt myself. So those really threatening behaviors that I'll harm myself if we, you know, don't stay in this relationship. But I feel like mostly what I hear young people tell me about is like the sharing passwords on social media. And oh, if I'm your partner and you trust me and I trust you, then it's okay for us to like share passwords and security codes to all of our social media accounts. There's nothing to hide. And it's like, you know, those passwords and social medias are for one individual and not care. And so, you know, I feel like that is what I see as most common, is like the really people being really
Jealous is a good word. Like,
jealous is a really good word to
that's
put
a good
it,
word.
and I think it just goes too far when they start to say, "This is what I need in order to trust you," or spend, you know, spend all your time with me, encouraging them to end things that they're really passionate about, sports, extracurriculars, pulling people from those. So
it's all good stuff to keep in mind. And I know a lot of times when young people first get in a relationship and someone says all those things in the beginning, you think, oh my gosh, they must really like me. And actually, it's a danger sign. It's a red flag. And you need to kind of back up and kind of be aware of what you may be getting into. So interesting stuff. Coming up in February of 2019, you guys have a big event happening. It's a teen summit in Wisconsin-Dale. So what can you tell us about that?
Okay, so that's my favorite part. So at our teen summits, what we do is we let as many teens that we know come, just come. And when we do go, we have speakers that are relevant to the culture that we're in. So say for instance, we had a person from the Black Women's March come and speak to us last year, and it was relevant because a lot of times people feel like authority is not reflecting on who we are as teens. And when we see somebody that has the same ideas or opinions or dress or style or slang that we do and the way that we talk, we feel like we have more of a same connection with them. And just that alone was my best thing. But other than that, we have a lot of workshops we do, and we let each other know through these workshops, like the warning signs, how we can do to be a better supporter or advocate of someone who's going through it, and just the steps if you feel like you're the person who's actually going through it, how to speak up and how to go about it as well, or connecting with other people. And I feel like that's really important as well. But we also have fun time, which I feel like that's our bonding time, and that's the best thing that a person could ever have, because you're surrounded by people who's open and it's a safe space. So a lot of times as us youth, we don't really come across many safe spaces. Like they're safe spaces, but they're like, you can really tell everyone respect one another, and we just have the floor and we can be honest and we can tell our story and we can express what we learned through each other and from each other. But it creates a bond that's stronger and it brings healing. And I feel like that's the main thing we all look for. We all have a pain or a hurt somewhere within our lives, and that's where we can find our healing and start our process.
Well, thank you both for coming by and sharing all the information on the Dare to Know campaign. I think it's important information and continued success. I can tell you're both very passionate about it, so I think we're in good hands, that's for sure. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Stephanie Ortiz is the Prevention and Public Awareness Coordinator for End Abuse Wisconsin, and Simone Lewis-Turner, she's a student at Milwaukee High School for the Arts. She serves as the Youth Outreach Specialist for End Abuse Wisconsin. For more information on anything we've discussed today, you can visit dare2knowwi.org or endabusewI.org. Also keep in mind you can locate crisis services by calling the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE. That's 1-800-799-7233. When we return to Our Issues Milwaukee, we'll find out about an outstanding organization that works to save lives from breast cancer. We'll find out more about Komen, Wisconsin right after this.